because that's who I loved and that's who I remember and that's who I'll do anything to get that person back.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Star Flames. In this video, yes, Kim is crying again. And I told you guys to look out for Kim to be crying on the internet in less than a week. I said that, I believe it was 2 days ago. I said it because every time there's a report about Ye and Bianca being happy, being firm in their love, growing together. Hell, Kim releases a clip of her crying, and it is always Ye being a horrible guy. Why is it that she can't switch things up? Now, there's a clip going viral of Kim saying, you know what? She would do anything, just anything to get the Kanye she married back, right? That clip was released a few days ago, but today that clip is trending. Why is that clip trending today above all days? I'm going to tell you why. That is because professionals, experts, psychologists, the list goes on. Everyone is intrigued by Ye and Bianca's relationship. Everyone is saying they are destined to be together and they are gonna work because Bianca is not materialistic. She really cares about him and Ye trusts her wholeheartedly. And that is what is driving Kim mad. She cannot afford to see this man happy. How dare you be happy after I told the world that you're crazy, you're unhinged, and I refuse to be your cleanup crew? So you're telling me that this is how Kim works. And this is why I say every time this woman opens her mouth, she keeps putting her foot in it. Because June 1st, there were numerous reports, and I believe there is a video as well backing up the statement. She refuses to be Kanye's cleanup crew. Fine. You refuse to be his cleanup crew, but why is it that June, you refuse to be his cleanup crew, but July, you would do anything, just about anything? How is that making sense? How is that even making any sense? Because if you were truly willing to do anything to have the old Ye back, you know what you'd have done? You'd have been patient. You'd have been kind. You'd have been understanding. Instead of thinking that what he was going through had any damn thing to do with you and that thick skull of yours. Because this woman's skull is so damn thick at this point. I don't think she even hears herself when she speaks. I don't think she listens to herself. She doesn't even care because she doesn't even have a heart. And you're here saying that you would do anything to get the guy that you had married back. Don't you think Ye would do anything to get the girl that he had married back at that point? Because you were the girl who told him that you would never leave. You told him through thick and thin. And the moment that things started getting bad, you were like, see ya, I'm out of here. I signed up for the better part of this relationship, not the worst. I want the fame. I want the attention. I want the red carpet. But if you're ill, I can't do that part. And I'm not going to be here fixing things for you. I'm not going to be your cleanup crew. Right? But at the same time, a few weeks later, you would do anything, right? And today, we're watching you being his lint liquor. Because without his name, you cannot sell anything. Not even your family reality TV series. There's so many of you in that family. You have Kendall, Kylie, Chloe, Courtney. You have Tristan. You have Scott. Who else am I missing? Corey, Chris. Rob Kardashian wants nothing to do with you guys. I mean, we know why Rob wouldn't want to have anything to do with his family. Because if you look at Lamar, look at Ye, y'all have done the same thing to your own flesh and blood. So Rob wants nothing to do with you guys. Only Chloe, right? So you're telling me that out of everyone in your family, your backs are so weak you cannot carry your own reality TV series. So every time you need some ratings, let's throw Kanye under the bus because Ye doesn't have a family unit to come back and clap back at your asses. Ye doesn't have any, siblings who are, in the spotlight, right? Because if Ye had siblings who were in their 20s, I bet your ass Kim would not be doing this on the internet because those siblings would be clapping back at her ass each time. And it doesn't matter what role Ye played in this because the reality is Kim and Ye, they both played their equal parts in their marriage not working. But the difference is Ye is that Ye, he crashed and he got burnt. And guess what he did? He picked himself up because you refused to pick him up. He picked himself up, right? He disappeared. He came back a new man, and he has been keeping on that new path since then. And he doesn't have a support system. That's the reality. Because everyone that he had in his circle, maybe 99.99% of the people he had in his circle were all backstabbers. And he had to wake up to the reality of that. And the ones that, who were genuine and authentic, they stuck around. And he kept moving. And today, he's not talking about you. But when he was venting about you guys keeping his kids from him, your mom was like, oh my God, I'm sick. Tell Kanye to stop doing this. I am currently recovering. Oh my God, Kanye's causing our family so much pain, so much heartbreak. So you're now acting on the internet as though this damn man has no. Sometimes I wish I could just hold this girl and shake some life into her. Like shake some senses into her. Because when Ye spoke about, his experience with your family, just as though you're crying and talking about it now. It was never okay for him to do that. It was never okay for him to talk about how he was feeling. You scanning his kids in front of him as though they're barcodes. But at the same time, Pete, who joked about RAPE, a baby, was okay to have Ye's kids around him. It was okay for North to be sitting in Pete's lap, irrespective of the fact that Pete has a video on the internet joking about assaulting a baby. That shit was okay with you. Because you were so hell bent on a revenge. You were in revenge mode for God he knows what reason. But you want us to believe that the man that you've set up, that you've laid several traps for, that we've all watched you laid several traps for, you would have done anything to get the husband that you marry back. But irrespective of the fact that you would have done anything to get the husband you married back, you went above and beyond to throw that man in a mental asylum. You tried to play God. The entire internet watched you do that shit. And this is why no one is on your side today. No one is believing you. No one is liking you when you open your mouth. The internet is tired of you talking about this man because we have watched what you did to this man with Pete. Oh, I heard that Pete had a big dick and I was down to F, so I went after him. Because you wanted to make your soon-to-be ex-husband unstable. But at the same time, honey, you would do anything to get him back. But anything did not include being cordial, being peaceful, being understanding, being caring, you doing anything did not include those simple things. It include treachery, backstabbing. Um, let's trigger him some more. Let's hit him where we know it hurts. Kim, there's a God. And every day, God continues to shows you that there's a God. But you're not paying attention, girlie. You're not paying attention. And by the time you're going to realize that God has been giving you signs back to back, it's going to be too late for you because you failed to take notes that God has been showing you that you're not in charge. You're not in charge, not even of your own life. He is. But you believe that you're so high and mighty because you have gained all this money, all this power, so you're just unstoppable. When you're not. You're not shit. You're not even shit. And that's the reality. You're not even shit. You don't make the cut. You're not a real decent human being. You are not a real decent human being. You did the same thing to Chris Humphries, the same damn thing. And then you came on camera and you said, oh my God, I feel so bad for the poor guy. And here you are doing the same thing to Ye. Oh my God, I feel so bad for him. I would do anything to help him. But what did you did to help him? You dug that man several ditch. You dug so many ditches at this point, the internet can't even keep up. And now that you realize that God had a plan. God had a plan for this man, and God's plan is in motion. And this man is living, he's thriving, he's silent, he's being something that you never thought that this shit was possible because you've never seen it. You didn't believe that you would have been able to trigger Ye so bad. You had him venting so badly. So in your head, yay, I've won, yay, I've won. But you didn't know the master had a plan, did you? Ye disappeared. He came back married. I want to see proof of that marriage. As though you're his mom. As though you're in control. As though you're his owner. As though he's your slave. I want proof of that marriage. Ye didn't look at you. Ye says, okay, we're going to continue communicate through that third party. Do not call or try to contact me. You got mad and you started throwing shades at his wife. Bianca is not looking at you because her self-esteem is high. She's a confident woman. She's highly educated. She is coming from money, so she's not lost, she's not clueless, and she's not misguided. So she didn't look at your ass. And you felt miserable. And then you said, you know what? I'm happy for Kanye. I'm happy that he's marrying and living a happy married life. Then you went back and you threw Ye under the bus after that. You tried again. It didn't work. Ye is in Tokyo, Japan, minding his own business. And here you are. You're throwing him under the bus again. Ye is making his comeback. He's working on his brand. He's working on rebuilding his legacy. And here you are again. Because you don't know how to live with him. You don't know how to live with him. And you don't know how to live without him. Just imagine how sick and twisted and disgusting you have to be as a human being to be this type of person. Just saying any damn thing about this man. Just using this man at every single damn turn and opportunity for clout, relevance, attention. Whenever your family business is going down, tell you what, let's throw Ye under that damn bus. Because once I talk about him, people are gonna listen. But people are done with you. They're done with you, Kim. The internet is just so done with you at this point. Because when you look at the comments, people are just so done. And you know what's even worse? Is that the cry that you're crying, has no emotions. The internet is saying that they're not seeing any emotions in your fake crying. You could have done a better job. Use a tear stick if you want us to believe that you were actually crying because you're so hurting. Just as how you told us, oh, when I'm dropping off the kids to school, the kids want to hear their father's song. I have to play that shit, then have a mental breakdown. And then a week after that, you were in Paris, dancing to niggas in Paris. Who sang that song? You did. You have to be one sick, twisted, disgusting bitch to keep doing this. You have to be like the lowest of the low to keep doing this. You have to be so heartless. You have to not believe in God to keep doing this. You have to believe that there's no supreme being. You have to believe that there's no God to keep doing this. Because ain't no human being in their right minds who believe that there's a true and living God keeps doing shit like this. And you keep doing it and it's not working. Well, I have to say, it works somewhat for you because you get the views. But while you're getting the views, you keep throwing your reputation in a ditch. But in the first place, you didn't have one. Ye gave you that reputation. He fought for you. When everyone called you a doorknob in Hollywood, when everyone was calling you a porn star, when everyone was calling you a whore, when everyone was calling you a prostitute, when everyone was calling you cheap shit, cheap trash, he stood up and he fought against the industry for you. Just one man. He stood up and he fought for years. And he said, you're going to respect my wife and you're going to respect me. He gave you honor. He gave you pride. And after you decided that you wanted your divorce and you told the world that you didn't come this far just to come this far and not be happy. So you have to get that divorce to be happy. You know, you're still here being unhappy. When you're not teaming up with Drake to throw shades at him, you're using Pete. It's as though you're just looking for the next person that you know is unstable to team up with you. Because the only person that you could have gotten to do that, to do your dirty work, was Pete. Because you knew that Pete had his mental illness. You knew that Pete was unstable. So you knew you could have used Pete. And now look at Pete. Pete is in rehab. Typical route of the men whenever they get with a Kardashian woman. Downhill. So you cannot find anyone else to team up with you to do your little dirty game. So you're doing it by yourself. You can't even go to an event without people looking at you in disgust, and you really don't care because you have no shame. You actually have no shame. You actually have no soul. You've sold your soul to the devil for the highest bid. It's all about money for you. Not even your sisters. I mean, your sisters are avoiding your ass. Your brother is definitely avoiding you. Your brother is the first one that told us about you, and we thought that your brother was just going overboard. We thought your brother was just doing too much. Then we watched you doing it to Chris Humphries. You did the same shit to Chris Humphries. You did the same thing to that guy. And you think that you're going to get away with these things. You're not looking at how the walls around you are crumbling down. You're going to be forever in shame and disgrace in Hollywood because, not because someone brought it on you, but because that is what you're consciously choosing to bring on yourself for money, clout, and attention. You told the world that you were done with this man because he's too much. He is ruining everything. You refuse to be his cleanup crew, and the list goes on. And you tried to trigger him, and people at the time when you started doing it, no one was picking up on what you were doing. But eventually people started, putting the pieces together. and they realized that you were setting traps for a man that you told them is bipolar. People started watching your ass. People started observing. People started paying more attention. No, look what you've done. You think that the internet would have been standing up behind you this morning. You thought that they would be cheering on your side, but they're not. Check the comment section on every single blog site. Even TMZ, that is rumored to be in your pocket. The fans of TMZ, they're not having it with you. Shade Room, they're not having it with you. Hollywood, they're not having it with you. They're just not having it with you. It's too much. You've gone far overboard. And, you know, it's not as though Ye is even talking. You need to give it up. Well, one might even tell you that at this point when you're not going to do it, because the next report that you hear about Ye and Bianca being happy, you're going to come back with something else. And it's going to be messy because you can't say something pleasant about him unless it's a magazine that, only promotes, positivity. Then you would jump in that and say, oh, he's the best that I know. He's the most creative. He's the most talented. And that's why I married him. And then the next day you would go back to throwing him under the damn bus. You are a incubus and a succubus spirit. Only God can help this woman. But that's all I have to say. I know it's a lot. But I want you guys to check out what the other platforms are saying. Check the comments and you will be intrigued. But even though it's no surprise, people have been saying this for quite some time. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts and we'll talk later.